Hello. So I just opened up Animate. I'm going to click New File. The one thing I'm going to change is the frame rate. I think a frame rate of 12 frames per second is easiest for beginners to work with. This is my workspace. I'm going to go up here. Right now it's at 100%. I'm just going to click Fit in Window so I can see the whole thing. Adobe Animate works with layers. We have one layer, and it also works with these keyframes. I am going to start by making like a floor for my ball to bounce on. And I need to select that first keyframe in layer 1. I can make the floor out of any of these shape or line tools, also any of these brush or pencil tools. I'm going to use the rectangle. And over here, I can change the color of the fill, the stroke, and also the stroke size. So I'm just making a little grass for the ball to bounce on, but you please do something different. Like be creative. It doesn't have to look exactly like this one. Now I want this grass to just like permanently be in the background of my animation. And so my animation, I'm gonna make it 24 frames. So if it's 12 frames per second and there are 24 frames, it means it's gonna be 2 seconds long. But like you need to figure out on your own, like how many frames do you want the ball to bounce up and bounce down and bounce up and bounce down again? How many bounces are you going to have? It might not be 24. Okay, so I am going to select that. On my keyboard, I'm going to hit the Command key until I can see the arrows with my mouse. And I'm just going to drag that out and drop it on the 24. On this, up here, I'm able to resize the timeline view. So if you have more frames, it might be easier to like zoom out, or to zoom out a little bit. Where it says layer 1, I'm going to double click and I'm going to change that to say grass. Then I will lock this layer. So that means that if I have the selection tool selected, I cannot move that grass. I'm going to click here to add a new layer. And this layer is going to be for like my bouncing guide. It's going to be that red line. And that won't be shown when I finish the animation, but as I'm making it, that's going to be really helpful. So I'm going to click the first keyframe of layer 2. I'll rename that bounce guide. And I'm going to use the classic brush tool for this. I'll change it to a different color. Okay. And I'm going to try my best to draw this out. So it bounces on the grass. It goes back up about halfway, bounces again, up about halfway. Oh, my mouse hit my phone. Okay, so this looks fine. It looks very lumpy. This is probably good enough for your animation, but you could also even bring a photo in to help be a more accurate guide. So, okay, same thing. I need that to go out to frame 24, and I'm going to lock that. Now I'm going to create another layer, and I'm going to call this layer ball. And now we are actually getting started. I'm going to select that first keyframe, and I'm going to make a ball. And you can do this, again, hand-drawn with a brush tool. I think some of the best animations I've seen have been hand-drawn like that, or just with the oval tool. And for this, I'm going to change the color one more time. I'll make it blue. Okay. And if I'm using one of these shape tools, if I hold down which key is it? The shift key on my keyboard, it's going to create a perfect circle. Okay, and if I click the selection tool, I can select that whole shape and then move it over to the corner If I just click on the shape, it might move only the middle and not the outline. So now I want to turn this shape into a motion tween. So I'm going to right click on that shape, and I'm going to click Create Motion Tween. Convert selection to symbol, that's fine. Okay, so now this whole thing is a motion tween. And so how this works, right now in the first keyframe, my ball is right here. I'm going to move this blue marker over to the second keyframe, and I'm going to move the ball a little bit. And we can see that it has a line attached. So that is what the motion tween is. I'm gonna move it to the next keyframe, and I'm gonna move that ball down a little bit again. And we can see that each time that I do this, it creates a little dot. So I am now creating new keyframe points for each of the ball movements. Okay. And at some points this didn't look like it didn't perfectly match my line, which doesn't matter because my line looks bad, but we can move these points around as well. I'm just gonna play this. I'm gonna click play here and see what happens. Oh no. Let's try it again. Okay, so we can see that the whole thing is starting to go. You keep going throughout the entire animation. After I've done this, I need to figure out how to squash and stretch my shapes. So I'm gonna click on the shape, and I'm gonna hit I'm going to right click, which will bring up this menu, and I'm gonna click on transform and free transform. And this will allow me to squash and stretch my shape. And so you need to follow this video down here to see where exactly you need to squash and stretch your shapes. Also see there's gonna be, with the ease of the bounce, there's gonna be certain areas where we want the ball where we want the individual ball keyframes to be closer together and then farther apart. As you are squashing and stretching, if we click on this tool right here, Onion Skin, Onion Skin can show us the frames before as well as the frames after. And so what we see has happened is that I just squished this ball and all of the frames have squished. And so you're going to need to define the exact transformation of the ball in each of these frames in order for it to stop moving, okay? So once you set it, let me actually show here. Once you set it, then that frame, then the ball in that frame will not continue to move. So you're gonna need to set squash and stretch for each of these individual frames. As you're working, make sure to be saving your work. We save it by going up to File, Save As. Make sure you know where in your computer your work is going to be saving. And once you have finished everything, you're going to want to unlock the bounce guide, hide it, so that we just see the bouncing ball working. And at the very end, you're going to go up to File, Export, export as an animated GIF. And click Save to export it.